I think you will agree with me when I say that we live in a time of change and that our modes of communication are changing dramatically. Reminds me of a cartoon I once saw in, quote, the New Yorker magazine. In that cartoon, drawn by James Thurber, the title is, quote, Man of the Future. Man of the Future is seated on Sunday afternoon in a huge stadium watching a football game. In his right hand, he has a small transistor radio. And he's listening to other football games. Right between goal posts hangs giant television screen. And he's watching another football game in color. Suddenly, overhead, airplane sending out traces, smoke traces that the scores of other football games. I'll carry in any newspaper. I'd have a pencil in his hand. We can see man of the future is here right now. Makes me think that the same thing is happening in our world. The world of education of the deaf, our world of art, culture, and communication. For today, I would like to focus on one special form of communication that people generally call, quote, non-verbal. As you know, non-verbal communication can include facial expression. Use of gestures. Okay. No good. You can put the two together, facial and gestures to do bah. Many things like that. We see that in many ways the sign language has different elements. It uses facial expression, it uses gestures, it uses body language and compounds. We, using sign language, go deeper still because signs include words. Only difference is that instead of saying the word with voice, where you sign it and give a symbol. For example, instead of saying house, I say house. Instead of saying fire, say fire. And the same with cat, love, justice, soft, hard, and so on. That's signs. Mime deals with something else. Many people know pantomime themes. So I wonder if people really know mime, pantomime there any difference? Marvelous. In other words, mime deals more with the abstract. Some way. What about science? Can you also have a difference between? Uh, that. I like that because we can also see correspondences between what happens when signs are used, when mime is used, and what happens in other languages or in other cultures. For example, in India, throughout mm, thousands of years, they have always had interpretative dance. And they use many different dance poses to express different emotions. We have seen pictures of in Indian dancers in various poses, pictures, showing the range of emotions that they go through. Same time, while dancing, using body language, they use hands. Different like that. Corresponds with our own hand signs in many ways. We have seen pictures of, quote, the 24 mudras in Indian dance. Same, well, you see another correspondence in, well, I would say Chinese writing. The Chinese language made up of pictures. Chinese wrote the language as picture, not as a substitute for sound. So we see Chinese picture, or we call ideogram. Ideogram. It's like the concept in science. For example, we have Chinese picture for tree. We will see that. Then we have Chinese picture for sun. S-U-N, sun. We have seen that picture. Then we have Chinese compound. They wanted to invent another word for the concept or idea of, quote, sunrise. So they choose the picture for tree, picture for sun, put it together, and they make a compound picture or sun, and that sunrise. To me, very interesting because the same phenomenon happens in sign language. For example, tree. And we have a sun. If we really put the two together, we have a sunrise, tree, sunrise. Sunrise. And also, we can do the same with sunrise. Very good point. Right, yeah. I know what you mean, yeah. That's another way to do it. You know that is a good side. because it makes me think of, quote, a line in the Iliad by Homer that appears often, a metaphor. Quote, rosy fingered dawn. Ah, say how it comes out in signs, rosy fingered dawn. Sun coming up over the horizon, brightening sun rays. We can do the same thing in sign that is in print, except we don't have technical. Yes, I've seen that. Marvelous. Marvelous. That's right. Clever, clever. That makes me think you are the maestro in this art of visual imagery. I can remember very well because I can remember when you described to me the experience that you had with the famous French mime, Marcel Marceau. You studied with him for a while. You had your own mime, so I know I saw you many times, and in my book you were the equal or better. Anyway, I remember you, I think you asked Marcel Marceau a very interesting question once, connected with how he would interpret a line from a poem. Explain that again. Away, it carries the moon away. indebted to you for giving him some tips on, we'll call it a sign-mime. Again, can you give her a better definition of that? I see, yes. In some ways, sign-mime lets you have, quote, close encounters with the third kind of dimension. Maybe you could give some examples from maybe Dylan Thomas's play Under Mirkwood. beautiful, yes, yes. To me, it's fascinating to see how poets, when they wrote their poems, wasn't thinking of sign language, and yet really no better way to see those images in print reproduced on the hands. Marvelous. I would like to try a few myself. Think Japanese haiku poems, very suited to quote Sign-Mime. There is one that if we signed literally, butterfly asleep, folded soft on temple bell, then the bronze gong rang. But if we change it to Sign-Mime, like you say, it becomes more vivid and pictorial. I would like to try that. Thank you. We always learn from each other, remember. I think try to do something like what happens in haiku poetry. Present, quote, singleness of effect, dominant image. But same thing can be done with longer poems where you really utilize Sign-Mime, put them together. Maybe you would like to demonstrate something with a longer poem. paint pictures in the air. I could see the mystical night with stars shining and sense your own awe. Beautiful, beautiful poem. I know Sign-Mime is something where we try to give heightened effect to signs themselves and utilize principles of mime. We can also show some things like point and counterpoint or movement and counter movement. For example, sunrise and sunset. I think of a poem, an old poem that was written during or shortly after World War One, and I would like to try that to show my point. In Flanders fields, the poppies grow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place. And in the blue sky, the birds still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. So days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch, be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who lie, we shall not sleep, though poppies blow in Flanders fields. That was one of my old favorites. That's the beauty of the thing. We have our own sign tradition, like oral tradition of preserving stories. We do the same with the signs. Maybe you can show how you can sort of build on that with something new. Alpha. Dreams. Marvelous. That's, that's interesting. That relates to, quote, the pictorial aspect of science, like you say. Yeah, right. I can see where you are breaking traditions. Yes, you are exploring a new areas for experimentation. Yes, man, it's always challenging to try a very modern poet who sometimes writes with boom, 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 an explosion of images. You think of some modern poet who fits that picture. Hmm. Someone like E. Cummings, Diane Thomas. There were quite a few others. C.M. Hopkins and some others. Oh, that would be marvelous. Very challenging also. Uh, marvelous. Fantastic. The first and only time I have ever seen anyone sign that poem. Really, can't explain my feeling about that. Marvelous. And I see how you interpret do not go gentle into that good night. Do not go gentle to that good night. Marvelous. Going into the grave. Uh-huh. And the last line, and the last line in the refrain again. Raise, raise against the dying of the night. The dying of the night. Raise. More literal, I guess, right. Right, marvelous. Yeah. That you talked about Bragg and try different going again, try exploring new uncharted areas in developing science. Any other idea about that? Can you amplify that more? Explain it more. Yes, very true. Yeah. What would you call that? Mm. Oh, now that that's a movement you believe in itself. A little bit goes further than Sign-Mime. Yes. Say, kinetic, kinetic, for movies. Yeah, 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 movement. K-I. Oh, that's good. K-I, K and I. Yeah. Kinetic imagery. Can you use that in in signing poems? Unbelievable, honest. Oh, that kinetic imagery. It takes imagination to see reality, and that's what you have shown to me. So marvelous. You see, creative, creative interpretation of literature in sign. Wonderful thing for use in the classroom. I myself have always tried to encourage students to become creative in that respect. 2 years ago here at RIT, I worked to develop a special course of study called exactly that, creative interpretation of literature in sign. Finally, it was approved by RIT, and now I've been teaching it. Carries 5 credit hours. As both hearing deaf students, marvelous to see them work to develop something like what you have shown us. Never equal, but still marvelous. Imagine in the theater, I imagine must have tremendous possibilities also. That's right. From the Latin, base or basic meaning is, quote, communicare, means, quote, to make common or commonly understood by all people. Uh, Define common. Right, exactly like that quote, man of the future I talked about. Well, you're looking at football games, listening on the radio, watching the TV screen. True. Maybe he has a wife next to him. Wife, what's that? And signs to him. Uh-huh. Radio. Wife, well, I have the same thing. TV screen. Watch. Somebody signing the program day on TV. Probably look at another TV screen and see television program going on with captions so that deaf can understand everything going on television. ABC, and AFIP, also with a TV screen where using signs, and possibly many, many people all over the world through exposure to your theater of the deaf traveling, doing kinetic imagery, will understand so many things that even people will be sounding like the deaf. Who knows? That's a dream. Right. A dream will happen, no doubt about it. You have been pioneering all along, making a name for yourself through theater, doing improvisations in mime, in sign, combining them to make, quote, a sign-mime, and now breaking through with a kinetic imagery. Thank you.